like it needs to be a BuzzFeed concert. This is DIY. Well, jig, jig, jig is a gateway word. These are the words that you never heard. Like jig drummer on top of the bed. Jig back on the rest of the place. Jig bubble when you practice quack. Jiggle on the jack of the spinks back. Jig, 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 jig. Jig, 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 jig. See, he goes like, I don't. A lot of fun just jamming with the cello. Anyways, I just explained how jig was a gateway word. It means if you start saying jig, pretty soon you're going to be saying things like jig, control, move, quantities back. Which is most certainly an inappropriate thing to say to your first girlfriend. So here's some more dangers of jig. Well, if you put jig in the sentence band, you're bound to get wound in a jig-like plan. Or maybe you could travel to a jig-filled land where the jig runs thicker than a quick jig sand. Jig, 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 jig. I said jig, 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 jig. With the jig and the jig, jig, jig. Indespiculate. Jig, 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 jig. Indespiculate. Quick, quick, nick, pick. Whoa, jig, 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 jig. Coming down like a thunderstorm in Egypt. Talk out. Where's the bass go? Well, the bass is back, but the other guys disappeared. Here's an example of putting jig in a sentence. I went jigging with Bob last night. We rolled into a jig, you lied, jig. Or yes, we're going to the jig parade. We're gonna get jigged up in the false jig shade. That's right. That's right. Don't believe the false jig light. It's artificial light. It's magic, it's magic, it's magic. And meanwhile you're wondering what is up with the jig parade. Is it ever going to come by? Thank you very much. Welcome to Horse Knock. Welcome to Horse Knock County the First. It's a county with a name just like Donald, Jeff, or Regina. Regina. Cactofund. I am Mr. Barbothingula del Cactofund. Can we say good morning, Mr. Barbothingula del Cactofund? No. Give me a Barbothingula. Del Cactofund. I love saying Cactofund. It's one of my favorite things to say. One might think it is an abstraction upon cat food. Cactofund. Does it sound good? I feel like it's a little bit dusty, but it reminds us of being an old rodeo. Just an old rodeo clown, about to get impaled by a bull of decency. That's right. Well, anyways, my real name's Rushad Robert Eggleston. Can you say Rushad? Rushad. More on that later. First, you should know my cello's name is El Cello Cabra del Norforbulones. Hands together, please. Clapping now. Although it might seem that I'm here to question authority and all that, the main thing I'm here to do is to provide a couple hours of good times, genuine good times, genuine, hopefully connecting of some neurons that might have not been connected before. Doing a little work on the engine, on the mental creativity, curiosity, imagination engine, just because, you know, sometimes it can get mighty worn down with although you have to be there and you have to pay this and it has to be done by this time, keeping us in the very three-dimensional linear reality, whereas the four-dimensional flight goes up and to the left and is purple and full of peanut butter and cream. And it's fluffy. I would like to sing about some flight. Of course, I'd like to sing some numbers about snakes. I'm just going to go non sequitur, off record tonight. Take all the stuff out of my pocket and just kind of freeform my way through some of the 1,000 of my songs that I've written. Now, often I like to start with a cello number. How would you like that? Yay. Good? Oh, very good. Okay, let me show you your traditional cello number. That's really cool. That's a cool traditional cello number. Most of your cello numbers go like this. It would be weird if you guys showed up in a cafe to see me go. So, here's my kind of cello number. This is called In the Bloink Yard. Let's see if we can get it out there. Almost. Hit the point yard. Down. Here's one called Flames of Heavenly Weirdness. champion one more time. Riding a big wicked zebra ship, free from the horrors of death, through the constraints of the atmosphere and onto the land of Smad. Pleasures that nobody knows, where the determined goes. Under the glistening spire they play in the sand. Infinite peppermint slide that starts on the mountain top and never stops till the valleys below, turning black as they grow in the night. Then they wait for the ride back to the mountain slide. Oh, poor Mexican jar dog melting in the wind. He needs a method to let the fun begin. Just like Shaggy on Mountain, a bird flipping through the sky. I'll take you up on my zebra ship and show you the way to fly. Infinite frosting of sweetest delight you can know about anyway. Tossing the moon into orbit again, because the universe just doesn't care. And we orbit around the space goat, which orbits around the moon, which in turn orbits around the old dark dog who learned to play the bassoon. You like the bassoon? Come and ride on my zebra ship, see what fun can be had. You'll certainly get all your money's worth, and you'll come back raving mad. Very good. Very exciting, man. Dondotron. Here's one I don't play very much. It's a rap. Across the travel with path, I saw the girls tonight, shivering physically, light in the evening. I thought I saw the road and drove around the firelight, but it was okay, and you have to keep the firelight. All around me as I escalate the season, looking up to the top, because I was a step there, we had noticed the speed of the snow just to the left of me. Every night 12 months, I went to back along, I was in the rock, get the experience talking. Every night 12 o'clock, when the crackle walk, crickles in the rock, and the pickles in the panther, and the green sauce. Slow it down so you can understand me. Sample here for when they was at the sky below, stomping in the rap snake and forest apple pepper bone. Thought I saw it sneaking away to the deep unknown, climbing past the mythical Lord Ladoni stone. Do you feel a great deal beneath the argon bar, smuggled in the squashed snow barrels, a herald on the star? Is there a monster door upon a speckled star, rumping from beneath in the tumbleweed under Gacklebar? And you're like, what did you just say? And I'm all, rumping from beneath the tumbleweed under Gacklebar. Let's break this down. Rumping from beneath in the tumbleweed under Gacklebar. Where is Gacklebar? Donde está el Gacklebar? It can always lead to a waltz. Questions make great waltzes. Donde está el Gacklebar? Donde está el Gacklebar? Donde está el Gacklebar? Por favor, el Thomas Squeenies. El Thomas Squeenies. Anyway, so like I was saying, barking on the back, the back and forth, Mr. No creative on to one. Drumming something darker, Mr. Bumble barking, arbling on, marbling the harbinger, and arbling so the cradle gone. Lighting bottles on, microphones and arbling, barking, be smooth, orchestras and great, holding no and home. A cricket bowing and barking, jumping and sorbulating on along the river of constituting sound. And he found up, down along the grumpy line, every night at 12 o'clock. When the crack of my breakfast in the crowd later, they can see the feather in the street song. And yeah, they put the monkey long, down along the grumpy line, every night at 12 o'clock. When the crack of my breakfast in the grumpy little, they can see the feather in the street song. I am the monkey long, down along the grumpy line, every night at 12 o'clock. When the rockabye goes to the grumpy yesterday, this is the pack of ends doing songs. I am with the monkey long, down with the grumpy long, every night at 12 o'clock. You see, when the rockabye goes to the grumpy lane, we see the pack of ends doing songs. I am with the monkey long, down on the grumpy long, every night at 12 o'clock. When the rockabye purple in the grumpy lane, we see the red stupid songs. We see the feather in the stupid songs, and the stupid feather in the stupid songs. And you can't see the wheels and the feet to go to it, give a trooper, Alright. Chick now, turn down a little bit so it distorts less. How's it feeling out there? Do you feel like you're at a little bit of a rodeo? Rodeo! And now, Ernest Kickelman will ride the bull's boss! And now, Ernest Kickelman cunks into the cow. Now, speaking of weird languages, I'll start making sense in a minute. Let me sing you one of my newest ones that's mostly alien language. Crunchy, crunchy, cracto-croid, crunty-ba-dumpty-cracto-croid, crunchy, crunchy, cracto-cracto-cracto-croid, snoid. Crunchy, crunchy, cracto-croid, crunty-ba-dumpty-cracto-croid, crunchy, crunchy, cracto-cracto-cracto-croid, snoid. Fiddler's focus, dairy, dairy, docus, thermal, stir, let the chick go day. Fiddler's focus, dairy, dairy, docus, chicken wing steak, up a dick go day. Bo-pack, 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 yeah. Fiddler's focus, dairy, dairy, docus, thermal, stir, let the wick go way. Fiddler's focus, dairy, dairy, docus, chicken wing steak, up a dick go day. And then Melissa comes in and she's all, stop, stop, stick it to the store like a purple herb stir, local wick go way. Hard, hard, 30 on the night skirt, chicken wing steak, up a dick go day. Dick go day. And then she's all, stop, stop, stick it to the starlight, herbal herb stir, local stick go steak. Far, far, 30 on the night skirt, chicken wing steak, up a dick go day. Anyway, where were we in the song? Oh yeah, it gets to the peaceful part. On the guard, the Nancy love. On the move the guard, the Nancy love. The movie guard, the Nancy love. On the movie guard, this looks like a peninsula, but Nancy love. Water is warm, and the coast is clear, 'cause Meagle, Schneib, and poor McGill live here. And they live in a fluffy world, flo, fo, fo, fo. They live in a fluffy world, fo, 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 and oh, 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 oh. They live in a fluffy world, fo, 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 fo. They live in a fluffy world, fo, 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 and oh, 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 oh. You guys help me out there? I say they live in a fluffy world, and you go fo, 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 fo. They live in a fluffy world, fo, 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 fo. Hey, here you go. Ho, and a ho, 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 ho. They live in a fluffy world. Ho, 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 and a ho, 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 ho. That's right. They live in a fluffy world. Ho, 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 ho. They live in a fluffy world. Ho, 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 and a ho, 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 ho. Is it sugar? And in a fluffy world. Ho, 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 ho. A friend is someone who pours sugar in my mouth. That's right. Live in a fluffy world. Speaking of ho ho ho, this is what they say on that other planet. They're all ho ho hody, a fuffin' duck dody, a ho ho hody, and a fuffin' duck dang, the ho ho hody, a fuffin' duck dody, with the dill the correct, I'll be fucking bang. Ho ho hody, a fuffin' duck dody, a ho ho hody, and a fuffin' duck dang, with the ho ho hody, a fuffin' duck dody, with the dill the correct, I'll be fucking bang. You are from Earth, you do not know the birth of Earth. What is Snurf? Snurf is a world full of delight, 10 million light years away. And you're like, well, what's the difference between Snurf and Earth? And I'm like, you've got banjos and barley and burlap and bunnies and baseball and boas and beer, especially beer. We've got Fuffity Ducky and Upliganucky and Nimberganatuganeer. It's incredibly queer. And you're like, what? We've got what? Animal. You've got banjos and barley and burlap and bunnies and baseball and boas and beer, especially beer. And we've got Fuffity Ducky and Upliganucky and Nimberganatuganeer. You can't even pronounce it. 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 You can't even. Yeah. We've got. You've got banjos and barley and burlap and bunnies and baseball and boas and beer, especially beer. We've got Fuffity Ducky and Upliganucky and Nimberganatuganeer. You've got banjos and barley and burlap and bunnies and baseball and boas and beer, especially beer. We've got Fuffity Ducky and Upliganucky and Nimberganatuganeer. We've got Fuffity Ducky and Upliganucky and Fuffity Ducky and Upliganucky and Fuffity Ducky and Upliganucky and Nimberganatuganeer. It's incredibly queer. Thank you. Thanks for providing Eggleston with a platform. This is Eggleston Me, an opportunity to get a little bit weird, try some stuff out, you know? Glad you're having a good time. I'll chill out the reverb for a second, just so we can feel normal. Very normal. Very appropriate. Down to earth. A good evening, as they call it. Let's think about ground. Now. Back in the old days, there were people that were called hippies. And if any of you have heard anything about the hippies, then you've certainly come across the story of all them naked flute parties that they used to have. Just a bunch of hippies getting together, innocently taking their clothes off and playing a bunch of flute. Doing what they did on a regular basis. Anyhow, it was a weekly meeting. Usually the cops came. But this one night, something else happened. And I'd like to tell you about it. First of all, you should know that their parties were called Flute Freakout. It's a good time for all. Welcome to Flute Freakout. We're gonna have a flute freakout. Yeah, welcome to Flute Freakout. We're gonna have a flute freakout.
Brilliant, sir.
Welcome to Flute Freakout. We're gonna have a flute freakout. Yeah, welcome to Flute Freakout. We're gonna have a flute freakout. Tell you what, it's late in the evening and there's nothing else to do. I just want to freak out and have a flute party. Woohoo! Welcome to Flute Freakout. freak out. Welcome to Flute Freak Out. We're gonna have a flute freak out. But suddenly, put flute away. It must be the cops again for the 15th week in a row. And they gingerly walk up to the door, open in it, and someone comes in and he's like, I heard you have a party tonight. And they're like, you heard wrong, what you doing here, Jeff? He's like, but I heard you have a party tonight. And they're like, no, Jeff, there's no party tonight. And they're like, I heard you have a party tonight. And they go, you heard wrong, what you doing here, Jeff? And they say, that's your part. I'm all, I heard you have a party tonight. And you're all, you heard wrong, what you doing here, Jeff? It sounds really good. I heard you have a party tonight.
You heard wrong, what you doing here, Jeff?
I heard you have a party tonight. I came from Minnesota to be here. I divorced my wife for this. But I brought my flute. And they're like, no, you didn't. And then he's like, all right. And then they give him a chance, right? Sweet. And they're like, all right, you can come in. They're all, ooh, welcome to Flute Freak Out. We're gonna have a flute freak out. Yeah, welcome to Flute Freak Out. We're gonna have a flute freak out. Beer, life, love, happiness, friendship, calculus, struggle, friendship, cactus. How's this reading? Thank you. You guys got water over there? That'll be great. Room temp if you got it. How many of you would like to hear El Cello Cop or Del Norte Forbulones play a song now?
Yes.
Maybe I'll just use this as the stage.
Platform.
Yeah.
It is pretty sturdy.
Because there isn't anybody back here. It is pretty sturdy,
Super sturdy.
Super sturdy.
Sit on our back.
Thank you. You know what? How about if I put it this way?
There we go. Science.
All right. Okay. So it's time for the cello to play one again. Mara. Mara.
Yes.
Yeah?
That's me.
Okay, very good. Very good. Well, as we were explaining, the cello's about to play one. Let's see if we can make it a non-boring one. There, the cello played one. Good times, huh? Well, thanks for the wild applause. That's great. I do appreciate it. Here's one about Science.
Science!
Humgy bumgy, wanna get dumpty, let's get dumb, ummy nummy nummy day. Humgy bumgy, wanna get dumb, ummy nummy 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 day, day, day. Well, I know a walrus who's got wings, that's 'cause he's not from Earth. What's the moral of the story? It's easy to grow wings when you're not from Earth. Humgy bumgy, wanna get dumpty, let's get dumb, ummy nummy nummy day. Humgy bumgy, wanna get dumb, ummy nummy 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 day, day, day. And I know a fish who can breathe on land, that's 'cause he's not a fish. What's the moral of the story? It's easy to breathe on land when you're not a fish. Humgy bumgy, wanna get dumpty, numpty, dum, nummy 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 day. Humgy bumgy, wanna get dumpty, ummy nummy 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 day, day, day. I know a woodsman who jumps over hills, that's 'cause he's not a man. What's the moral of the story? It's easy to jump over hills when you're not a man. What's the better moral of the story? If you live in your flesh, you have to fight like Gilgamesh. Your skull may get smashed right off your neck. But if you live in your brain, and you can think of rain, then your brain is where you live. And it's raining in your brain. Then you get to live where it rains, even if your body's in Arizona. Humpty Dumpty, wanna get dumpty, let's get dumb, ummy nummy nummy day. Humpty Dumpty, wanna get dumb, ummy nummy 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 day, day, day. Thank you. This is about a being who was created out of bass sounds. Can you say boink-a-bonk? Bonkners. Well, I'll tell you about a guy named Boink-a-bonkers. He played the bass and he bumping all day, when no one else could bump it like Boink-a-bonkers. Beep-a-reep-a-dee, boink-a-bonkers. What's his name? Boink-a-bonk-bonkers. What? It's your part. That's right. Hey, y'all a little shy. I'll warm you up though, I always do. I'll slow it down so it's more basic. Get up on my pedestal. Boink-a-bonk-bonkers also was a giant. Once he made a bass from the Golden Gate Bridge, dancing in the water, stomping on the cables. The city renamed it Boink-a-bonk-Bay. Boink-a-bonk-bonkers. 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 Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-boom. Boink-a-bonk-bonkers worked in the junkyard, stacking up, stomping down, crushing all day. Well, once he made a bass out of 57 Chevys, and he played it all the way to Boink-a-bonk-Bay. Boink-a-bonk-bonkers. What's his name?
Boink-a-bonk-bonkers.
You guys are on it. Boink-a-bonk-bonkers. What's his name?
Boink-a-bonk-bonkers.
What's his name? What's his name?
Boink-a-bonk-bonkers.
What's his name?
Boink-a-bonk-bonkers.
Bass solo. Well, then you met a drummer named Big Tickety Powkers, who played the drums and he whacked it all day. Well, no one else could whack it like Big Tickety Powkers. Tickety Powkers. Yeah, Nick Tickety Powkers. He was French. Nick Tickety Powkers. Yeah, he was French. French, you know, like the tickety, D apostrophe, tickety poutners, tickety poutners, tickety psh. I said it's a drum solo coming. Can you say drum solo, drum solo, drum solo? I need to hear you, otherwise we're not gonna do it. Okay, never mind, no drum solo. Drum solo. What? You wanna do it? Roto Hortney, Roto Hortney. That's what's going on in the drummer's brain. Roto Hortney, Roto Nabushak, Inviculon Twervia, hey, expecting all that. Down in the morning, and it was like wanting the sour milk, yeah, with the cabbage in it. It was the sour milk with fermented cabbage in it.